Having a beautiful day. Today you can see my fan going. It is still warm in Australia, not as warm as it was last week, but it is still hot because we're in summer. And I thought, look, I'm just going to come on here and give you guys some updates about the conference. I know lots of you have been asking me questions. My inbox has been absolutely crazy the last, probably the last 2 weeks actually. It's been really, really crazy, but I know that, like I said, you'll all be interested. And I thought, look, today we can also have a little chat and, just go through a few things that I have been up to. I've been super crazy busy. I've been out at a festival. I've been doing lots and lots of things, with my business, of course. And, of course, I'm been getting everything ready for the conference, which, so these are the books that are going out for the conference. There's heaps more sitting below there. And that's what I've been up to. So I feel like it's just been one of those things, a whirlwind. And then, of course, even though this conference is sort of coming to an end, then we're organising the next one for Queensland. So crazy. Hi, my love. How are you? Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday to you. That's what I was just saying. I mean, it's a beautiful Friday. And I thought I'm just going to explain a few things for the conference, which is super, super exciting. Of course, I've got everything organised here. So I'll show you because you probably came on, and I think I showed it before. These are the books that are going to be given out. People online will actually get one of these from an ebook, but this is for the people in person. There's heaps more than that. There's quite a lot there. There's a lot of people coming in person this year, as well as well over 100 online, which is really exciting because my little conference is not a huge conference that holds 20,000 people or anything like that. It is an exclusive event, and I want to keep it exclusive because that way when we have guest speakers, you can come and talk to them and feel free to do all of that. So today I thought, look, I'm just going to give you a bit of information on it and, how it's all going to work from here. But I thought we're going to have a chat about a few things, what I've been up to as well. As lots of you know, I've been at a vendoring event in Port Fairy, which is about 5 hours from where I live. And it was so, so hot. I ended up being taken away by ambulance, which is a bit sad, isn't it? When is the conference in Queensland? That is going to be next year. So the conference for Melbourne for 2024, that one is going to be, when is it? 10 days time. So the 25th of March. And to help everyone around Australia, because for those of you overseas that don't know, Australia is very wide. And a lot of people don't actually live in the centre of Australia. They live on the outside. So most people live around the bay lines of Australia, so we're sort of scattered everywhere. So if I go to Queensland, it's like a full 20-odd hour day trip driving. I think it's more. I think it's 28 hours or something from where I am. So that's the thing, it's quite spread away. So if you're looking at coming to the Queensland one, that is going to be May the 17th. And May the 18th, which is a Saturday and Sunday in 2025. It's going to be in Brisbane. So it's going to be in Brisbane South Bank at Regis Hotel. So it's going to be really swanky and very fancy. And I will be staying at that hotel. If you do have a ticket, an in-person ticket for this year, you may actually win that. So anyone that has an in-person ticket this year, you'll actually go into the winning. We'll draw it out on the 25th of this month, which is actually at the conference, and they will actually win a $2,500 package, and that will be for 2 people for Queensland. It will also include their accommodation for a 5-star resort, which will include their buffet breakfast, use of the swimming pool, gym, and all of that sort of thing for a couple days. So I think that's super fancy. I mean, if it was me, I would love to win that, because it isn't cheap staying at some of these places. It's around about $1,000 for 2 nights. Although we have got a bit of a deal. They did give us a deal which I think works out to be about $720 for 2 nights. So it was a couple $100 off if anyone wants to stay, but we only have 10 of those packages, and that's it. So we just ended up paying for a special deal with those ones. But that's for Queensland. And today we're going to be talking, like I said, about Melbourne. And so anyone that comes to these events, basically you're going to get like a book like this, and it will have like recipes and things like that. And, just tells you a little bit about the end as well. And let me see if I can show you or give you a sneak peek while we're on here of something. So these are all the different countries that are actually going to be online. So I'm quite proud of that. So this year I'll give you some ideas who is going to be online. So these are people logging in that have already bought tickets for these countries. So we'll have people from Jamaica, Romania, Canada, Africa, Germany, Norway, Indonesia, France, Australia, of course, Switzerland, Scotland, America, and England. Oh, you've been out of the loop. That's okay, my love. So basically I set up a conference 3 years ago. This will be the third year. And it's for soap and candle makers, around Australia, the world. Whoever wants to come, they can. We have already had people overseas buying a ticket for 2025 for Queensland. And those people are going to be flying in. So... so we actually released them so that people could sort of save money to get there. And we can only take 80 people. We only sell 80 in-person tickets. That's it. So basically the whole conference started because I just couldn't get anywhere and couldn't find something myself. You're coming online, my friend. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. And I hope to see you in Queensland too. And I think 20% of tickets already bought for Queensland. So that's a little bit crazy, isn't it? We will. So for anyone that is a ticket holder, you will actually get a discount. So you'll get a discount. So if you're a ticket holder this year, you'll get a discount for next year. You'll get an early bird discount, but that will only be available now on the day of this conference. So the 25th of March this year, and this is Australian times we're talking, they will be released at 9 a.m. and you will need a code to get in. So if you've got a ticket this year, please have a look at your email. You won't have that yet. Tomorrow I will send out the emails with the links for anyone that is going to be logging in this year, and you'll get some discount codes. And you'll also get some discount codes and things for other suppliers as well. And each year we give around about $5,000 away in prizes. So, but you have to be a ticket holder to get them. And most people that are coming in person, they are the ones that will get the better deals, because the problem is, when we give away prizes, a lot of them might be for, like Australian suppliers that don't ship overseas. And if I give it to somebody and then they win it and they're overseas, it's kind of pointless. So that's why most of the prizes are just for the, in-person people. This year we'll be giving away 3 stick blenders as well, some KitchenAid stick blenders. What are we giving away? There's nearly, $2,500 in prizes from suppliers, which are vouchers, so you can choose whatever you want from those suppliers. And they are candle suppliers and packaging suppliers, which is super cool. We're also going to have some workshops this year, and next year we'll carry that on next year as well to have workshops. And we work really hard around the clock for speakers. This is the thing I have to say, everyone. When you go to a conference, it sounds silly, but the speakers are not what's important. It's the networking. I mean, yes, you need speakers because they make the whole event run, but there's other things that you can do as well. Like I said, coming along, it's like, you're going to be networking, learning things, growing, talking to other people, and, you won't feel so isolated in a business that's, generally most of us run our own business and we're the only employee. Besides our husband or maybe mum or kids or friend or sister helping or something like that. So, so hopefully. Are there any tickets available for Melbourne? No, they are totally sold out. Although I do have, I think, one in reserve. So if you want that ticket, please just contact me. So if you just send me even through Instagram, just send me a DM and I will answer there. But I think I have one in reserve because I did buy one extra ticket just in case, because every single year after it's all finalised, people always ask me for a ticket. And the reason we actually need to close it early is the venue needs numbers. So we have to actually just close off the tickets. If you want an online ticket, I have left that open a little bit later because online's okay. I can kind of work around that. But yeah, it's very, very tricky. Oh, you need two, one for you and one for your daughter. Well, I can have a look. DM me so that I've got your details, lovely. Because sometimes what happens is other people will say they can't attend. And, you know, so yeah. And the venue is pretty good. If I need to get one extra one, they're pretty good. But I can't get like 5 or anything like that. So, and unfortunately, you know, there just is a time I have to, you know, cut it off. I wish it didn't have to be like that. But this year is the year to come because we do have Marie from Humble Bee and Me. She is flying in from Canada. She is our guest, our international guest speaker this year. And she's absolutely amazing. You know, she's so funny. And I know lots of you probably learned from her just like I did when I started. I watched so many Humble Bee and Me videos and, you know, they have a great blog post, an encyclopedia of things that, you know, is very helpful. So she's going to be talking all about lotion making and formulating. And I will have, you know, a bit of a flyer, a giveaway from Marie as well. Yeah, talk to your daughter and see what you can do, my love. It's up to you. I don't mind. But, you know, usually I do often get asked the minute the ticket, and I closed the tickets at 10 this morning. So I know that I will be asked the next few days, you know, and honestly, every year I have to say no to people, some people, because we just can't get another ticket. You know, once they buy the food for the venue, that's it. And your ticket includes all your food as well. It includes morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, drinks, and everything else. So, and you will also get some presents as well, which is super duper good. And we have a new supplier called Craft 360 on, and they are giving every person that's coming in person, they're actually giving them all a $40 voucher to use. There's no strings attached. You can use them, you know, online, and then they'll deliver out the goods to you. So, which is so exciting. And, you know, like there's lots of vouchers for Pure Candle Supplies as well, have given us vouchers. We have some candle wax melting machines. And if you're coming in person, please bring either your soap product or your candle product, because you can actually win a KitchenAid stick blender as well. If you want to find out more about the conference, just go over to the website. It has its own website. It's called the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference.com, and all the information is on there. The agenda is on there as well. So you'll have the agenda, the guest speakers on there. It will have a little bit about everything. It will also have the details for Queensland, for anyone wanting to come to Queensland. But if you have a ticket or you are looking at buying a ticket, don't purchase the Queensland ones yet, because you will get $100 off that ticket on the 25th of March. But that's only going to be for ticket holders, because we've already done the early bird ticket for the public, and now it's just for ticket holders. So, and so that's basically how it works. So each year, the last 3 years, it's been in Melbourne, but next year we decided to move it to Queensland, because I know a lot of things don't go to Queensland. And when in my Facebook group, I did a bit of a thing asking, and my Patreon, what kind of state should we get? And I think it was about 70% of people wanted it to go to Brisbane. So, it was a very overwhelming vote. I thought we'd have more for Sydney, but no. Everyone was more interested, you know, which was funny. Yeah, they were definitely more interested in Queensland. So, and it's just such a lovely venue, you know, like a beautiful venue up there. And this year it's held at the Brighton Beach Hotel in Melbourne, and it's right on the bay, so you can go over to the beach after, and it's an absolutely beautiful, you know, building. It's just such a lovely old building, and there'll be signs so that you'll know where to come up the top. So it starts at 10 a.m. So anyone that has a ticket, please enter the venue around 10. Don't come super early. Because of licensing, they can't let people in until 10 a.m. And once everyone is seated, we will get started. And have a really fun day. And, I do encourage you, please speak to the guest speakers. Ask some questions. We have a Q&A and you can ask questions. And no question is a silly question. The conference is here to help everyone. And it's here to actually show you the steps to get a business off the ground and that's exactly why I started it. So I founded this 3 years ago, and I do have a team of another 2 girls that volunteer to help me, and they just are such a help. Without them, I could not do it. So, and you'll see lots of us there. As you come in the door, you will know where you're sitting. It's all placed seating. So it's just a really nice, like I said, just a really lovely, thing. So I'm sure everyone's going to have, a beautiful time, and I'm very excited to meet everyone because a lot of you watch me on YouTube and haven't met me yet. So it's actually nice to meet everyone. So please come up to me and say hi. I know the last couple of years, a few people get a bit nervous to talk to me, but please don't be nervous. I'm just a normal, average person like everyone else that just lives in my own little house with my own family like we all do. So we're all just business people trying to help each other in this, which is really, really nice. So I hope that you do come if you want to come, and spread the word, everyone. So if you have someone else that may want to come in Queensland, if they can't come, they can log on live from any country in the world. This year, I think we have 14 countries logging on, which is super, super exciting. And like I said, Marie from Humble Bee and Me, she's actually coming out from Canada. So she's flown out to speak at this conference, and I feel very humbled that people really are loving this conference, and it's really it's the only one in Australia. So that's why I started it, because there was nothing that you could start when you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So it doesn't matter what level you're up to, you can still learn things and kind of be involved in the whole conference. So anyway, that's how it's going to work. It's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. On the 25th of March this year, of course, at the Brighton Beach Hotel in Brighton, which is just on the Esplanade. There is free parking as well, because it's sort of just off the train line. So there's actually parking there. They don't charge for that, which is super nice, isn't it? So anyway, like I said, that's basically what I've been doing. And the last few weeks, I've been vending at other places, as I did say, a long way away. And then, of course, I had to sort of come back to get all these books done, because these will be given out at the conference. And I have one more page that I just need to quickly get printed. And the printing company's been very nice to say they will quickly do it for me. So because when I did it, I forgot the one page that needs to also go in it. And when Marie does her talk, she has actually emailed me a printout, and I will actually just double check with her that I can give that out at the conference. And and so that's basically what's going to happen, which is really good. I'm actually really looking forward to it. We have the Candle Business Coach as well, and she is going to have a talk. She has her own podcast, and she has her own Facebook group that is doing super well. So she will be there. We'll also have Long Story Short Design, and they are printers. So they're going to talk to us about printing, because if you're like me, the printing is one of the hardest things. Making labels, knowing boxes, what kind of business cards should you have? What should you have on them? Should you have colors? Should it be plain? Should there be lots of information? All of those things are really hard to kind of navigate, and they will actually be talking about that. We'll have Crafty Space, another company that they actually do some beautiful micas and glitters and things like that. So they will have some products for you to look through and touch and see all the colors. They have also donated some of the little containers to make the wax melts. So we'll do a demo on that. We'll do a bit of a workshop on that so everyone can see how they're actually done as well, so that we can show everyone. I will be using probably AO5 for the wax melt wax, only because I have a 30-kilo bag of that. So, and that's what I actually use for mine. So we'll kind of go through a few things like that. We'll also have a workshop of making some diffusers. You can make your own and take it home as well, which is super good. And and that's the thing. This year we're talking about making a lot of these things as well. So yeah, so there's a lot of information. There's a lot to pack into one day. But in Queensland, it will be a 2-day event, not a 1-day. It will be 2 days. So very exciting. So if you've missed out on your ticket and you want an online ticket, that is the only thing that is available at this stage is the online. As I said, I've got one spare one, but I can probably wingle 2 for that person that did ask for the ticket. But just DM me, first in, best dress. That's the way it's going to work this year. And after that, there is 100% no more tickets in person. So, yeah, and, look, a lot of people are still learning about this and, don't know about it. But, as time goes on, more and more people will know. And I really hope that we can help people. So, if you've got a business and you're struggling, you're not getting customers or you're not making sales, often it's not you. Often it's not the product. There's other things that you may not have thought about that we can kind of go through at the conference. So please, if you've got a problem like that, ask me, and I'm definitely there to try and help everyone, because often when we have not packaging, when we have a product, often the product's really good, but the product is not what people are buying. It sounds silly, but they're buying the packaging and the look first because they haven't tried it. So if you're selling a body butter, they can't try it. They can't dip their finger in and try the body butter. So they're literally buying it off the design, the look, the character of the product that they see in front of them. They're not buying it because the body butter's beautiful. And that took me a long time to get my head around that. But that is really important to understand those things. And they're the kind of things that we talk about at the conference. And, a lot of people last year said to me, oh, there's so many things here I didn't think of. And they said, okay, I'm going to go back home now and I'm going to rechange a few things. And each year I get the same, because I've got a few of the people that are the same people that have come from day one. And they've said to me, look, it's really interesting how all this is working, because they just didn't think of these things. So you do learn things all the time, like I said, with these things. So, and also when you come along, it's just like casual business attire, but no tracksuits, no denim. We ask that you just dress a little bit nice because it's a nice day, and you will be filmed. It's totally filmed. It will not be on YouTube. So for anyone that wants to know, we'll have little snippets on YouTube, but we will not have videos or anything like that. People are welcome to take photos, but we don't film it and, put it on there. So like I said, everybody else, if you've got an online ticket, you can watch it and you can be involved in the online chats that, we have a moderator that works with all the online chats. But afterwards, you'll also get a link. So if you're working or you can't watch the whole thing because of time zones, you'll get a link later on, a week after, and you'll be able to rewatch that as many times as you want. And it will be a private link. So the online tickets work out to be $33 American, which is $49 Australian. So it's pretty cheap. And that's because it's one day. Next year in Queensland, it will be double the price because, of course, it's 2 days. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully that gives all of you some information. Please make sure you sign up to the newsletter on the website, because when you get an email, that email is going to explain to you how it works. And if you're not on the list, you're not going to know, because we can't be messaging hundreds of people individually. So if you join the newsletter, you'll get sort of more information about the conference and how it's going to work. And also you'll have opportunities to be a guest speaker. So you can, on the day, you can have a look, and we will have some flyers. You can write your name if you think you would be a good speaker. And, of course, we will look at that for the following year. So, anyway, that's a bit about that. So I just thought, look, we'll have a bit of a chat about that. And I know I haven't had many videos, and that's because I've been so busy with the conference, traveling. I'm still going to catch up with Patreon and put some more videos. I do have a candle making video coming out. They will get that first. And I do also have another video of vending at a big music festival, how that works. but that, like I said, will be coming to Patreon first, and then hopefully next week it will be on YouTube. So this weekend, all my Patreon members will definitely get that, along with their recipes and other things that I do give them. And also in the conference, in this book, there is some recipes in that as well that you can try out and see if you like it, of course. So, like I said, I hope that you've had a nice chat with me. I know it's only been like 20 odd minutes, but, it's nice just to catch up, isn't it? And so you all know really what I'm doing. And, because like at the moment it's hot, you can probably see my face is red, because even in my house, even though I have 4 air conditioners, it is still hot. It's still 25 degrees Celsius in here. And for anyone that's been asking, because I got very ill, had to be taken off to by ambulance to hospital when I was vending at an event in Port Fairy, and that's because the weather up there got to 44 degrees Celsius, which is about 108 Fahrenheit. And myself, I think there were 6 different people, all got taken by ambulance, and then there was another 10 that were vomiting because of heat stroke. So, these are the things that you got to think about when you're doing markets, and I never do. Even though I drank a lot of water, I was looking after myself, I was in the shade, we had a really good canopy, but sometimes these things just happen, everybody. But thank you, everyone that's been asking. So I've had so many sweethearts, asking me if I'm okay, and I'm fine. It was just once they put me on the drip and I got a little bit more water into me, I was totally fine. Yeah, I'm fine, my love. I'm fine now. But this is the thing people forget. In Australia, it's so hot. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm on the mend now. So I didn't have heat stroke. I had heat exhaustion, is what they put it. So they said that's kind of like one step before heat stroke. And it's funny because I was walking to the car and then to get the car, because this is a street event. So basically what happens is you drop off all of your things into the main street and they close it for the public. And then you drive your car back out. So at the end of the day, you have to pack everything down, get your car, drive your car back in, and then load all the stuff up. And you do that 3 days in a row. Now, this was one of the hottest days they've ever had for this festival. Even the music, so they sell tickets that are $400 a ticket for the music festival, which goes for 3 days. They ended up closing the music festival down at lunchtime. That's how hot it was. It was too hot for the musicians to sing. It was too hot for everyone. So, and in Australia, we do get hot weather, but this was really extreme, and it was very dry heat, and it had very strong winds that were hot as well. So many people just got really, really ill really fast. And I was fine in the day. It was only when we were packing up. And I think, like the stress of packing up, it's hot packing up. We all know that when you're packed up a market stall. And this was not my stall. This was my daughter's, because my daughter, Emily, had a baby. So I was doing it to help her. No, I didn't take candles, darling, at all. No. Yeah, it's definitely no joke at all, my love. I'll tell you now, I felt so ill. I honestly thought this might be it. Man, I thought, oh no, because it's so hot, you actually even get confused where you are or the direction. And so I thought my car was to the right, but it was to the left. So then I'd walked back and forward several times. Then I got stressed and I thought, oh my God, if I don't lie down, I'm going to pass out. So that's what I did. And it was lucky for me that a nurse walked past and checked on me and called the ambulance. So that's basically it. But I didn't pass out. I just pretty much collapsed and had to lie down. So, which is not like me, because as lots of you know, I'm a very busy person. I'm a very energetic person. But when it's hot like that, you just can't cope. So I only went to hospital for about 5 hours. And once they, put the nutrients back into me via drip, I was fine. So, and then they sent me home at, sort of dinner time or something. But yeah, it was very stressful. And I was vendoring at this event with my daughter, who was only 15. So I was more worried about her, but they were very good. And the ambulance driver, was an absolute gem. He even went and picked her up and brought her back to the hospital for me, because he was a dad. So, how nice is that? So, my hat's off to all the ambos. They do an amazing job. Oh, you can't take the heat at all. Yeah, no, it's very, very hard. Yeah, I have heard coconut water is good for the heat, but look, I'd had probably 2 liters of water, so I really did. But unfortunately, when it's so hot, as as the hospital said, your body's just, no matter how much you drink, your body just can't cope. So once your body starts going down, doesn't matter how much you drink, you can't get enough liquid in fast enough for your body to absorb all the nutrients that it needs and everything else. But yeah, anyway, it was an experience. And I don't do markets that's one of the reasons, because I really just, it is a bit scary. And I don't do markets because I just didn't want to deal with the products getting ruined. And a lovely lady that I know, well, the 2 ladies, they had a candle store. And it was so hot that the candles were actually bubbling from under the wick up. And it was the heat. The heat had literally melted them and made big sort of air pockets inside the candles. So probably 50, 60 of their candles will be ruined now. They'll have to get rid of them. I mean, I said to them, maybe they can just scrape the wax out and start again, keep the jar at least. But yeah, I mean, really, really difficult. It's like, how do you cope with these kind of things, and when you're a business, you don't want to lose a lot of stock. So it was very, very tricky. And there were a number of stall holders that had food. So you can imagine there was even a chocolatier. So his chocolate was no good, just totally melted. So when you're doing a market, everyone, you need to think of all these things. You need to think of how hot it can get depending on where you live, or if you live in a climate where it snows, like where we are, we don't see snow. I haven't seen snow for 3 decades. So, and a lot of kids in Australia have never seen snow because it generally is hot here. So, I mean, we do get rain, but it's generally hot. So, so very interesting. You just need to think of all these things. And, I am looking at doing some trade events, but they're air conditioned in a massive big building. So I'm hoping either this year or next year to, go and do some, sort of trade shows in Sydney or Melbourne. Probably I'll start with Melbourne, I'm thinking. And of course I sell on Fair, and I'm still in the middle of working on all my packaging, because eventually all my packaging is going to be done, which I'm very excited about that. It just takes such a long time. So don't hate yourself if you're struggling with packaging. I mean, it's taken me 4 or 5 years and I'm still working on that. So because it is very, very expensive. Just one of those things that there's nothing more that you can do but, honestly, just try. I mean, that's all you can do. And, at the moment, the climate is just not very good financially. The world's in a bit of a pickle. I've heard lots and lots of people talking about this on YouTube. I watched Caitlin Blue the other day, and she was saying the same thing. So, I think Erica as well was saying that from memory, Candlebox, so that's what I mean. Lots and lots of people are talking about how hard financially things are. And, people aren't buying as much as they were 2 years ago. I've definitely noticed my sales with that. I mean, I'm selling more wholesale but less retail. So because wholesale stores, they still need the product to sell. So and I do feel that it's much easier to sell in a retail store rather than I was trying to sell online, because people can't sort of sniff and smell and touch and so on. And that's the great thing too about the conference, that you can talk to other people, how are they going. And the difference with, if you're in a Facebook group, a lot of people don't want to answer your question because they don't want to give away information. But at a conference, people are there to support each other, and people generally will give away information. So, feel free to ask people at the conference. I did notice that the last 2 years in particular, but last year in particular, I noticed a lot of people saying, well, hey, we're at this conference, we're here to help each other, so happy to give away information. It doesn't mean you've got to give away all your secrets, but you can give away a little bit. So anyway, like I said, that's one thing that I definitely have noticed with that, which is super good. But as I did say before, I am sorry that I haven't done as many videos as I used to do. I mean, I have 500 or something, I think. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Yeah, somebody's just saying that they appreciate what we try and do. And look, this is the thing. I do try and share information, because when I started, I could not get any information. Even when I started the conference, everyone said, oh, no one's going to come. Nobody's going to support this. So many people just put a downer on it. And, people, we all like to think that everyone wants us to succeed, but unfortunately not everyone is like that. You're going to have some people that are going to be really negative, and you're even going to have some people that are quite mean to you. Being on social media or having a conference, you get a lot of people that get quite envious of what you've done, and sometimes they can be a little bit mean. I mean, look, really, honestly, to me, it's like less than 1% of people, but I have to put that out there. That is the truth. When you're selling online, and also when you're in social media, you're putting yourself out there for possible trolls or people that are mean in Facebook groups to criticize you. And that has definitely happened to me. But, at the start, I used to cry and get really upset. But you get a thick skin and you just realize that they're only coming from a place of a little bit of envious. So, you just kind of got to let that go, my love. And, for me, I just say, look, you just got to support another person. If my business wasn't going to make it to the top, I'd rather watch someone else than no one make it to the top. So that's just me personally. And I just think, in life, just be kind. I mean, the world's hard enough without everyone being mean to each other. So yeah, so if anyone ever has any question, please ask me. I'll always answer your question back. I'll always try and troubleshoot if I can. And make sure you go over and join us on social media. You can go onto Instagram and see the Australian soaping one as well, and join that too. Oh, that's okay, my love. No problem. You're so welcome. All right. Well, I'm going to let everyone go, my loves, and I hope you have an amazing day. I hope to see you at the conference, and I'll see you soon. No worries, lovely. No worries. I don't mind sharing it all, my love. Anyway, see you next time. Bye, friends.